and integrity. Take steps to invest in your career. International Management Consultancy is the leading global marketplace for learning and instruction, helping professionals across the industry to develop skills and expertise to get recognition and growth in the corporate world. We are one of the leading training providers and gradually spreading our training facility amongst candidates based at different geographies, such as Canada, United States of America, United Arab Emirates, Saudi, Kuwait, Qatar, Oman, Lebanon, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Philippines, India, and many other countries across the globe. IMC is accredited by the highest industry standards. We put in the efforts and we work to prove our commitment to offering our clients only the best and of superior quality. With a uniquely immersive curriculum that combines live instruction from the leading experts, peer-to-peer collaboration, on-demand lessons, unlimited online trainings, and 24/7 learning support. IMC helps over thousands of professionals learn their skills needed to advance their careers and reach their full potential. In line with our commitment to excellence, IMC offers a number of training courses preparing professionals for certifications and exams given by the international associations in areas like management, finance and accounting, human resources, sales and marketing, quality administration, and as well as project management. By fully attending these courses and successfully completing the requirements of the certifying body, participants will receive a special certificate which recognizes their dedication and commitment and in many cases help them earn valuable continuing education credit. IMC Consultants has been working together with their clients from various industries in aligning their people and processes to compete through high speed, excellent quality, and low cost. We strongly believe that the key to our success is our total commitment in delivering value to our clients based on integrity, honesty, and openness. If you are uncertain about which roles or skills are best for you, hurry! Come visit our website or talk to our expert education consultants today. Take a step, invest in your future, empower your knowledge, and be one of our success stories. International Management Consultancy, excellence is what we deliver.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Yeah, good, good. Thank you very much for playing the video. And good evening to everyone.
Hi, good evening.
Good morning,
Good
good
evening.
afternoon, globally connected.
evening.
Yes.
Good evening.
How are you doing today?
Doing well. How about you?
Fine. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah, it's good to be connected. And you are here. It's very good. No, so you all here in this our training. So you know what is our topic, right?
PMP training.
Yes.
Project
PMP.
management.
Yeah. Yes. PMP, the project management, professional training. Yeah, PMP. Right. So once again, welcome to all on board for this PMP training.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, yes, it's my pleasure, no? It's my pleasure. Right. So you know that the seriousness of having the PMP certification. Right. So we can start, yeah?
Sure.
Right. Okay, then again, thank you very much for all you are here to attend this PMP training. Yes, my name is Lislal Vishum, PMP certified, also that PMO, you know PMO, right? Project Management Office. And I am one of that now, the authorized PMI, Project Management Institute certified PMP trainer in the region. And also I am that contributor of the reference guide for the project management. It's called the PMBOK Guide 6. You know that now, that is now 6th edition and 7th edition. I am the contributor, right, for the 7th edition. Right, so this is all about short brief, about myself and hands-on experience in project management in different industries. And I started my career in India. Then I moved to UAE. I'm here in Dubai, Abu Dhabi regions. Yeah, it's working in the program management level for the next level of the project management, and also delivering the training for the people who is around the world and across many industries. And many people already know is utilizing their project management skill and getting benefit from this training and also that after the certification. Right. So this is all about myself, and it is also good to know about you because of this crowd, that the audience here, we have a large audience. So I don't want to ask you individually about, about your, that is your background, but you can send those in the chat message, your industries at least, so I will come to know that in which industry you are working on. So accordingly, you can give some examples and case studies. It's good for you to get more ideas in project management. And you can use the chat box. Yeah, that is welcome. You can, most welcome that you can use the chat box. No, yes. Yeah. Right. So as I said, that is transportation industry. Yes, it's very good. No, Raghunath, yes. And many people already started sending that, their industries. And it is good to know that actually that project management can be applied in any industries, right? Any industries, whether construction or engineering or manufacturing or oil and gas, ITs, education, pharmaceuticals, health, for any improvement. And we can use this. And also if you're thinking about creating some opportunities or some improvement as part of the Six Sigma, we can plan about to have that Six Sigma project as well, right? Right. So remember that as a team, so from today onwards, we will see many coming days, right? And 12 days we will see to complete the training programs, and let us have a get together in the same time. All this same time we can meet, and so just to set a goal. It is always to set a goal. Then you can also commit to yourself, be motivated, understand about the advantage of the project management and to get your goal, right? So that is the way you are here. So whatever you plan, set your goal, commitment, motivation, and get a goal. Right. And so what we are going to discuss throughout our training period. So that is we grouped under this category agenda, right? So in agendas, we'll discuss introduction part. Yes, it's good to have some introduction. Then in module 1, we'll talk about creating a high-performing team. So it is good, in the organization, because whoever is part of the project, so they can be involved in creating a high-performing team to achieve that project objectives. And in module 2, we'll discuss about starting the project. Module 3, we'll discuss doing the work. Module 4, keeping that team on track. And module 5 will keeping the business in mind. So it's very important, right? You should have that. You should have the knowledge of the business perspective, right? As a project manager or part of that project or any profession you are involved in this project. So it is good to have some idea about that, the business perspective of that orientation, the organization, right? So who is interested, then we can go for understanding that exam preparation also, right? So I would suggest you that, so whenever we discuss all this, so you should keep one important thing in your mind that anywhere in the world, in any industries, project can be run, project can be implemented, or if you're a project manager, you can oversee the project in 5 stages. So you can implement the project in 5 stages. One is initiating the project. Number 2, planning the project. Number 3, executing the project. Number 4, monitoring and controlling the project. And number 5, closing the project. So these are the 5 stages you can opt for your project management. Yeah. So whatever you prepare, whatever the documents you prepare, whatever the process you develop, whatever the actions you take, whatever the initiatives you take, it will be under any of these 5 categories: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. Don't forget this. Yeah. The number 6 you can see that is agile. That is the latest innovative project management. Yeah, that is called agile. You will come across this. Yeah, don't worry about this. So whatever is not aware of this, don't worry about this. Take it light versions. Yeah, right. And let us see some introduction for you, right? And since you are new to this, maybe some people has some experience in project management, some people has no experience. Whatever the case, no problem. And let us see some introduction in project management. So regarding the PMP, project management professional, and PMP is that gold rated and also most demanding certification to manage a project. So if you have that PMP certification, it is good to have this, right? And you can become a certified project manager. And if you have the certificate, then the client, that organization, have some confidence in you, right? That means you can manage a project, you can control a project, you can lead the team, and you can successfully close the project by achieving the project scope within the budget. You are able to complete the project, and within the fund also project budget, and also meeting the quality standards. So it's a challenge actually. So as a project manager, so when you get a project or when you're involved in a project, it is not easy, right? Because you have to integrate so many things to run the project, right? And not only to run, actually, you have to lead the people, you have to oversee the project, you have to monitor the project, and maybe sometimes you have to oversee that the contractor also, the vendor, right? The vendor or the third party, supplier, manufacturer, or service provider, whatever the case, right? And also you have to track the project, right? Whether the project is delayed or that is any mismatch in the quality issues, any pitfalls, right? So many things you need to observe, track, take the actions, take the decisions, need to resolve the problems, right? So many things, right? So that's the role, as a project manager, you have to exercise in the organization to manage a project, right? And of course, the PMP, the PMP, it's definitely, it add values. And the PMP has categorized the people, that the people, process, and business environment. So it's very important for project management. So keep it in mind, you have to have some idea about how to lead the people, how to become a good leader, right? To become a good leader. So that is the people. So you have to understand about the skills, what you need to become an effective leader in the project management, right? So that the people. And you'll get like a 42%. And the process, it's very important, right? The process. So nowadays, everything is based on the process. So process means predefined actions, right? Predefined activities. That means already that no actions defined, so you have to follow that, right? So that is the process. And so who is managing the project? Who is doing the process? Actually, the process is done by the people. So people has important, right? And people has importance. So think about the process has problem. It will impact the organization. It will impact the project. Look at this, no? So process plays an important role. If the process is not well structured, not well defined, it will impact, right? And you will not get the right result, right? So that is very important, process, right? So people, process, then business environment. So you as a project manager need to have some idea about, right? Business, for example, getting the product into that market, time to market, and the profit, the revenues, and the business acumen. This is all we call it's like a business acumen, right? Some people are good, to understand about that, the business. That means organization set some strategic objectives, right? So you have to understand that what is the vision of the organization, what is the strategy of the organization, what is the strategic objective of the organization, what you can give as an input to achieve the organization strategy. Because why you are there in the organization, oversee the project. Why there is a project? To achieve the organizational strategy, organizational vision, right? So you have to give some value to the organization in order to achieve the organizational objectives, right? So this is the way we can have the three domains: people, process, and business environment. And nowadays, we have different type of project management. The important types are like this. For example, traditional project management, right? And classical project management. And we'll get some 50% questions. Then you have that agile. So agile is that innovative project management. I will explain this in later stage here. Then hybrid. If we mix both of this, like
Hi. Can please unmute yourself because you already muted yourself.
We cannot hear you.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, sir. I'm with you. Yes. Right. So thank you very much for informing me. Right. So predictive, that is plan driven. I will discuss this in later stage. Yeah. So we have different chapters, modules. Then we'll explain. Then we have innovative project management, that is agile. Then hybrid, we can blend both. Yeah. Depends on the situation, depends on the project status, complexity, and uncertainty. We can decide which is the suitable project management approach you can use for your project. Right. And for the PMP, you will get 180 questions. You have 4 hours exams. It is online exam, and also you can go to the Pearson VUE exam center. So you have this 180 questions in 4 hours. You have the exam, right? It is a closed book exam. It's PMP, project management professional exam. You will get 50% a question from waterfall or predictive, and 50% a question from agile and hybrid. So that is that exam structure and question pattern, right? And for the PMP people, the potential, the PMP exam takers, and also to learn about, to understand about project management framework or method or process or the standards or best practice, they can refer PIM book 7th edition and PIM book 6th edition, and also Agile Practice Guide. So these are the important 3 reference guide we will always recommend for the exam takers, and also the people who want to manage a project effectively and efficiently to achieve the project objectives. Apart from this, remember that this is not the end, because we have to read many books to understand about the project management in a very holistic way, right? Because nowadays, that we are living in this innovative era, right? In this innovative age, right? So we need to have that understanding about so many approaches and ways of working. This is normally we call it ways of working, right? I'll write here the ways of working. Ways of, very important, right? Ways of working. Right. So keep this in your mind. So this is not that sufficient for you, but for example, passing the PMP exam, and also for the time being, this is more than sufficient, right? In book 7th edition, 6th edition, and Agile Practice Guide. because if you take too much reference, too much reading, that will be, too much is always difficult, right? Because your intention is, your goal is to pass your PMP, right? And so to pass the PMP and also to understand about project management, this is enough, more than sufficient. But add some supplementary on top of it, you can read many books, right? Just to make sure that my audio is clear, that are you able to see the slides?
Yes.
Yes, now.
Ways
Okay.
ways working. Yep.
Right, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that information. Right. So applying for the PMP, yes, of course, you can have like bachelor degree. Then you should have that minimum 3 years of experience, project management experience, right? Then after completing this project management training, we will provide you 35 videos which will make you eligible now for the PMP exam. So these are the 3 criteria for applying for the PMP certification exam. Right now. Okay, now we can start our the learning, and let us start some fundamentals in project management. So what is the meaning of project? Maybe this is simple question I'm asking to you. You may think that. Yes, simple question. Let us start with simple, right? Yes. So project management. We are now managing a project. So what is project?
Project is the timeline to complete your target or goals.
Right. So project has some time period to achieve the goal. Yes. Perfect. Yes.
Project is a mechanism to identify a solution to any problem statement through a scientific approach. That's how I can define.
Right. It's like problem, finding the problem, right? Problems. Yeah. Yes, yes. So that is normally like for example, trying to get some result, right? So somebody talk about you said that problem solving. Somebody talk about some product, right? And so yes. So always keep it in mind from now onwards. This always you keep it in your mind. Project means it is a temporary action. It is not a permanent act because it has start and finish. It will be like 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, something like this, right? So always it is a temporary endeavor. So that is very important. It is a temporary endeavor or actions. You can see here now it's a temporary actions undertaken, very important, to create 3 items that also you should remember in your mind. A product, service, or result. These are the. So whatever you look at this, the project will always create either a product or service or result. Product means, for example, a building. Correct? It's a product. Or some medicine, for example, right? So or software, for example, right? It's a product. So what is the service? For example, the organization is now giving or undertaking a project to set that the networking. After the networking, it produces a service, right? Or the transportation service, something like this, right? So that is the service. Then what is the result? You will study something and you find some solution for that, and you will recommend to the agency or recommend to the government, for example, right? So what are this case? Maybe for expansion of something, for infrastructure, for example, expansion. So what are this case? You will study some topic, and then at the completion of that project, you will submit some report along with your recommendation, right? So that will be the result. So these are the 3 things you will create as part of the project. One is product, and there is service and result. So this also you should study nowadays. Don't forget this, right? Right. So remember that the project has start date and finish date. It will create unique product, service, or result. It is temporary, right? Okay. Clear this concept? Are you clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Yes.
Even though it is simple, but this is very essential to know, right? Because with this concept in your mind, you can develop so many things, right? Okay. And example for a project that provides output as a product. So just try this question. So what do you think? Building, software, or something. Example for a project that provides output as a service. For example, networking or something. Example for a project that provides output as a result. For example, you are studying something and submitting the result, right? And that, you know, the buyer, for example, or the client can take decision according to the report you submitted, right? So that is the result. Right. So this is what we discuss about, right? So look at this. So project is producing a product or service or result. Clear? No, this is the essence of project, right? Right. And so what is that operations? So you have that operation in your department, in the organization, right? For example, you will say that this is the operation. So what is the meaning of operation, or how do you distinguish operation from a project? So operation means always it is continuous. They're doing some continuous activities, never ending. The people is coming and doing the same work, repetitions, ongoing. So this is very essential in the organization to sustain their business, to get the income, to run the company. For example, help desk, sales, HR, finance, these all belong to operations. So operation means it's an ongoing, repeating work. Always, right? Always. And it is needed to sustain the business in the organization. That's very important, underline point. Yeah? So remember that when you have a project, you will create a product or service, right? So when the product and service is now ready, where it goes, it will go to the operations. For example, you are developing a project like now, for example, HR software to increase the HR business, for example, HR that is their improvement, HR activities, you are developing a software. So what is the product? HR software. When the project is completed, you will provide this software to the HR department, that is the operations, right? And they will start using this software to run their operations, right? So it is needed to sustain their business, to sustain their operations, right? And this is the way they can improve this, the excellency, right? Operational excellence, right? So now you may ask that what is the meaning of project management? Project management, right? So project management means you as a project manager need to use the knowledge, the skills, the tools, techniques, and ethics to create a value to the organization, maybe part of that is strategy. Organization always sets strategies, right? So that's the reason there is a project. That's the reason you are there as a project manager, right? So what is the meaning of knowledge? Knowledge means your industry knowledge, your domain knowledge, for example, IT knowledge, constructions, manufacturing. So whatever that the industry you are involved in, plus the knowledge of project management. So both the knowledge, right? The knowledge of your that domain, for example, the technical knowledge in terms of the domain plus project management, how to manage a project effectively. Then the skills, you can see here now the skills. The skill means, for example, interpersonal skills, for example, soft skills, for example, communications, problem solving, negotiation, influencing, emotional intelligence, right? And any skills coming in your mind apart from this what I mentioned? Conflict resolution, right? Empathy, for example, right? Leadership also, it's good to exercise. And also we are going to use many tools and techniques. many tools and techniques. It is very important because without tools and techniques, nobody can work in this world, right? They need, engineer need some tools, doctor needs some tools, techniques, right? And here also we need to have that. Project manager also need to use some tools and techniques, right? For example, variance analysis. You need to know that the variation, right, between actual and planned. And we are using like now some software you are using, for example, right? And you are using many analysis, statistical analysis you are using here, right? And also you are using problem solving, for example. You are using Kanban board, for example. You are using now kickoff meeting, right? And milestone chart you are using. So many tools and techniques we are going to discuss in this our project management study. And also it is very important, you cannot avoid ethics. Ethics, right? The disciplines. If you avoid this, if you forget this ethics, finish. Right? You may do many mistakes, right? So ethics is important in project management, right? No responsibility, fairness, honest, right? So this is the way you have to consider that is your ethics, right? Right. And also respect, right? Fairness, respect, responsibility, and honest. These are the main ethics you should exercise and also you should follow in the project management throughout your life in project management. So end of the day, you are creating a value. That is very important. Nowadays, value creation is very important, right? And project management team. So you have to bring a team for the project, right? And the members of the project team who are not directly involved in the project management activities, right? So you have to develop a team for you to manage a project, right? And in the team, you can have many people with many skills, right? And expertise, cross-functional team, for example. And so that is the project team. So here now, this is a project management team. So the project management team means it's like, the decision makers. Yeah, project management means decision makers. So in this, you can always have that decision makers, right? And maybe like, that is upper management, right? And some of the people who is from the upper management be part of the project management team. I'm talking about the management team. Yeah. So that is the project management team. And then you have the project team. Project team means the people who is involved to do the work, right? And to support the project manager. So in this project team, you can have the cross-functional team, right? With many functionalities, for example, expertise in that, for example, quality, expertise in risk management, maybe business analyst, coder, tester, and what are this? So always we have to have this cross-functional team, right? From many functionalities, and also to have better a general specialist, not that the specialist have that the knowledge in many subjects. Yeah, right. We'll discuss that also in coming modules. And also it is good to know about project stakeholders. So what is the meaning of stakeholder? Stakeholder means the people or group of people or the organization who is impacting to the project, or maybe this people will be impacted by the project. Think about so many people like the project manager, project team, for example, and other project manager, government bodies, project management office, steering committee, end user, regulatories, municipality, for example, shareholders, and authorities, right? Supplier, customer, manufacturer. So many people are impacting the project and also impacted by the project, right? And so this is the way you have to understand about the stakeholder. And as a project manager, we'll discuss this in later stage, the importance of identifying the stakeholder, understanding their needs, and then how you can incorporate their needs and expectation in your project management. It's very important, right? Stakeholder. So stakeholder can be internal and external. Internal means like internal to the project. For example, that project sponsor, project manager, project team, other project manager, PMOs. What about external? That means, for example, like supplier, customer, end user, right? And depends on the situation, maybe like the government, right? Authorities, regulations, and tax authorities, right? So whoever it is, part of the project.
Sir, I have a question here.
Yeah.
What is the meaning, what do you mean by steering committees?
So steering committee means it is always organization will create a steering committee to take the decision for the project management activities. For example, there is a decision to be taken for the project to move forward, then this will be taken to a steering committee. So always project. If you have a project, normally there will be a steering committee for each and every project. Sometimes organization may have permanent steering committee. You got it? So this committee means this committee contains upper management people to take the decision for the project to move forward, right? Because executing the project, so many things will happen to take the decision, right? So who will take the decision? So in this case, the matter will forward to the steering committee, and then they will review it and take a decision, then move forward. But the point?
Yes, I got it. So it means like managerial positions, managers are the steering committees, members of the steering committee, whosoever they're taking decision in the project. So these are the steering committees.
Like CEO, for example, CEO, maybe finance manager, right? And that category, to take a decision for a finance manager is also part of that, because something related with finance, right? So we will include those people, and maybe some other department also will include in that, right? And you understand about, for example, organization will know this is the project, and in this project we have to have these people to take decision. For example, related with the finance, related with human being, related with the final decision, right? So who is that initiator of the project? Who is the owner of the project? For example, CEO, or maybe we'll call it like a project sponsor. So what is the meaning of project sponsor? The person who is initiating the project, right? And that is the project sponsor. Right. And right. So can you try this question? Who is overseeing the project?
Project manager.
Project manager. Who is doing the work for the project?
Project team.
Project team. Who is sponsoring the project?
Project
sponsor.
Project
Very
owner.
good. Excellent. Who is influencing the project?
Steering committee.
Stakeholders.
Stakeholders, not steering committee. Who is influencing the project means always makes sense. Better always say that the stakeholders. Right. So you understand your basic is good. Right. So I will tell one more thing, then we can move to that our real now. So think about the organization. An organization has vision, right? Vision always. How they can achieve the vision? So that is the mission, right? Now they can have portfolios, programs, project, and task. So organization has project. Organization can have programs, portfolios. This is very important, right? The visions. So why all this actually? End of the day, this is very important. Strategy. So they will always set a strategy, right? So set a strategy. For example, to increase ROI, return of investment. So strategy is not one. Maybe like they can have like multiple strategies, right? So strategy, when we talk about strategy, this is a long-term run, right? It's not a short term, right? Long-term run, always. It can be achieved within not a short time. It can be like a minimum like 3 to 5 years, right? To achieve the strategy. So in order to achieve the strategy, for example, the organization need to have operational plan. They should know every day what they have to do. That is called an operational plan. Operational plan. And they can have like tactical plan. And also finally, the strategic plan. So that's very important. The operational plan. That is every day what you have to do, what the organization has to do to achieve that tactical plan. So that is the short-term plan. So that will be release 1, release 2, release 3, something like this. Then, and while doing the tactical plan, you will achieve the strategic plan at the end of the 3rd year or 5th year or whatever you plan for, right? And keep that in your mind, yeah. So that is the strategic objectives for strategy, right? So
Sir, what was that portfolio? Once again, could you say that?
I'm coming to that point.
Okay, thank you.
For that, yeah. So the project can be either it can be run as standalone project or within the program and project. So I'll explain that. See now, this is that the holistic way of our the organization, for example. So look at here now that the organization at the bottom level, you can see the organization has project A, project B, project C, project D, project E, and other work, and also there is an operations. So this is all about, you can see it's very clear in the organization, right? So we can have the visibility it's happening in the organization. So who is managing the project? Project manager, right? So what is that objectives? To create some product, service, or result, right? Unique, it will be unique. Always try to deliver a quality deliverables, quality product, right? Quality is important, right? Important quality management, right? So quality important because quality means conformance to the requirements, compliance to the requirements. So you have to always follow the quality standards to get to deliver a product that customer intend to, right? That is very important. Customer has some intention to have this product, right? And they are expecting something, and you have to deliver those, right, with customer satisfaction. See now, this is the way you have many projects. The organization may think, why that some related projects? We have some project, for example, hardware related projects. So our organization is running some projects, hardware related projects. So organization may think to have some discipline to manage those hardware related projects together. So that is called a program. So if you do this, always they can get some benefit because they can use that resources, like sharing the resources, so many resources, like in terms of there are tools, people, materials, and machineries, right? So in this case, they can get some benefit, and it is mainly monetary benefit as well as, right? So in this case, so the organization will set up a discipline to manage those together. That means to manage the related projects. So that is called a program. So who is managing a program? Program manager. Project is managed by project manager. Program is managed by program manager. So that means now stakeholder value is important. You have to create some value, benefit to the organization, right? Not simply delivering the product, not simply delivering the output. You have to show some business value, right? Benefit to the organization. Right? So this is the way the organization can have many projects. So this also like data center project, it will be another program, right? Clear? So we have the hierarchy of project. The next is program. Now organization may think to have some discipline to manage the program and also the operations, and also there are many projects which is not part of the program. So this all together like for the program and isolated project and also the operations, they will together there is a discipline, and that is called portfolio. That is called a portfolio. But their intention is to do the right projects. To do the right projects. Not the projects right. See now that do projects right? No. Do the right projects. To do the right projects, what they have to do? Prioritize. For example, they are now preparing to do a Six Sigma project, for example, right? So in this case, they will give the prioritization to implement a Six Sigma project. So prioritizing, right? So do the right projects, very important, right? So why the right project? To achieve the business value, benefit, right? That means it will be giving an input to achieve the organizational strategy, right? So it's very important, right? Because this is the strategy. And you have the ideas, vision, strategy, regulations, business alignment, all this. So here in the portfolio, if you have a portfolio, you can do some alignment of that the program portfolios in order to achieve the business value, right? And sometimes you can have a PMO also, project management office within the organization. It is always an entity, to give some support for the organization, especially for the project, give some training, recommendations, advice, just like a consultant in the organization, right? And training, and also they can manage the project. They can manage the project managers by providing the best practice, right? So it's all about an organization you can visualize.
So one question. So this portfolio was a profile of participants under as a portfolio. I mean, they are the project managers.
Portfolio is managed by a portfolio manager. Portfolio manager.
Okay.
There are different certification available for this project manager. What is called PMP, right? What do you call? This is the PMP certification. For example, if you have asked this question, I will tell you this. For this category, PMP. For this category, PGMP. PGMP. For this category, PFMP. That's all. Right? Okay. Right. This is all we discussed.
Sir, one quick question. So when you said that, you know, the lower level projects, project A, project B, project C, all of these are being done. So is this what this entire certification is qualifying us for, only to do project A, the lower level of projects, or the PMP certification is also enabling us to deliver on portfolios?
See, so you, based on your role, your role is a project manager. The role is a project manager, and then PMP will help you. If the role is program manager, then only you have the PMP. You are lacking some knowledge in managing program. It's very important, right? You have to understand about not the managing the project. You are managing a program level, right? So you have to understand about that. So that is the reason there is another, we have the certificate, that is the PGMB. And also, like, for example, your role is a portfolio manager. You have only PMP, then you may struggle, right? You may struggle because you are on that higher hierarchy, and you have only the PMP, but you are managing a portfolio. But definitely PMP will help you, but you are lacking, I can say that around maybe like 60%, that will be okay. But 40%, you have to have some knowledge, ideas from the portfolio management. Correct? We have the separate certification for that.
Sir, what is the separate certification for portfolio manager?
PFMB.
PFMB. Got it.
I'll write.
Thank you.
PFMB. Then this is PGMB.
Sir, basically, I have one question, sir.
PMB, yeah. So this is the hierarchy, right?
Got it.
So this hierarchy for this, that is upper level, yeah. Right.
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah.
Basically, we are from the manufacturing industries. So in our industries, the portfolio we are referring like a department. Like if someone is asking that what is your portfolio, then we are referring that okay, we are from the quality department and we are managing the plastic parts and the manufacturing and assembly, all those things like that we are preferring. So is it correct or what else?
Yeah, this is actually right. We are doing this. For example, we will show that this is our portfolios. For example, we have portfolio of these are the different services, right? And we are providing, right? And yes. So what do you think, like, we can have the program on portfolio? That is correct. We are doing this. But sometimes it will be like in the upper management. Do you have something above that? Do you have something above that? What do you have above that?
Above, we can say that we had a plant head. So they are managing all those things. So like a management.
What is the organization? Organization, right?
Yes, it's organization.
Organization, yeah. Then okay. Right. Right. So yes. Clear, that concept is clear, right? Okay. So this is what we discussed. So let us now move to, this is very basic things. The remaining all, it is coming as part of our study, right? Any question from this, what we discussed so far? Any question, any doubt? Any question? Right. So I can show you this also. For example, see now, so you have this actually. So once you have this, you can have like some framework here, right? if you have some framework, if you are using some framework, always know what is the meaning of framework. Organization will some responsibilities, some norms, guidelines, conditions, right? And if you have this, it will treat as a shield, always no shield, and that will help you to protect your portfolio, program, and project in order to increase the quality and reduce the risk. So that is the reason organization always, maybe you don't know this actually, the organization always will execute. That is some framework. That is called organizational project management, or PM, okay? Framework, right? Their responsibilities, authorities, guidelines, for example, norms and conditions, right? So this is very important, right? Very important. And not only that, everything like portfolio, program, project, because without these norms, guidelines, conditions, and responsibilities, no discipline, right? So no. So we cannot expect, we cannot increase the quality. See, now the quality is important. Increasing the quality, reducing the risk, then only you are able to visualize, you are able to see the benefit. What is the benefit? It can be tangible or intangible. So what is the meaning of tangible and intangible? Tangible means like a money related, right? Or tools related. What is intangible? Like, trademark, reputation, something like this, right? So this is the way you can have the tangible or intangible benefits, whatever this. Yeah. So project is always, we are undertaking the project, maybe like some improvement, some technology enhancement, maybe like customer request, maybe like environmental considerations, for example, right? And so many things, right? You can study this, why you are undertaking the project, and also you can further proceed for the feasibility study, right? Feasibility study, right? Right. So remember again, you will always do a feasibility study. Then you can go for the designing the project, build the project, test, and then finally deploy and close. Correct. Deploy and close. This is actually the project phases. Yes, Adil Khan, any question? Yes, please.
No, sir. No, sir. I don't have a question.
You raise the hand, not now.
Oh,
right?
sorry. Yeah.
Right. See, now this is actually the project phases, right? See, now the feasibility. So the idea, then you have to do that, whether we can implement the feasibility study, right? You have to consider that, associated with the risk, the benefit, all this, right? That's the feasibility study. So then you can start designing it. After completing the designing, that is at some phases, then you can go to the build phase, test phase, then make it deploy phase, then you can finally deliver and close, right? So these are the different phases. Yes, Pranjal, bro. Yes.
Yes, sir. One small question, like, is there any tools to do the feasibility study?
No, this is actually a tool we are using, business analysts normally do this feasibility study. And whenever we do the feasibility study, already you have a topic. You already have an idea, for example. For example, you decided to implement artificial intelligence, right, in the organization or in your operations. So that is the idea for it, right? Then you have to see that feasibility. If I implement that artificial intelligence, what is the risk associated with, what is the improvement I get, how much money I am spending, and how much money I will get as a return, right? All this you have to consider. Then business analyst will prepare this. Maybe, for example, you can use some of the tools like SWOT analysis. Do you know SWOT? SWOT analysis, gap analysis. You know that?
Yeah.
SWOT analysis, gap analysis. This is you can use. Yeah. So you can use as a tool, because this is part of the business business, right? To learn about, to understand about the business, right? This is SWOT analysis and gap analysis. And even though we are using the SWOT analysis project management, but you can use for the business management also, right?
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
my question is, this project team will conduct all analysis or development of the product designs, everything. They will work under the project team, or they will do like in my industry, project management team is not involving the like R&D analysis, this kind of things they are not doing. They are giving the task to process teams, operation teams. So they are doing analysis and they are giving back feedback to project team.
Right, right. Actually, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. Yeah. See, let me show you that slide. So you will. Okay. Actually, what happened is, when we talk about a project, there are two stages. This is on stage, this is under stage. So this is, we call it is a project activities. Project activities, yeah. And here you can see that pre-project activities. Pre-project. That means before starting the project, yeah. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Pre-project. See, all this pre-project is purely related business. And this is related with project. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for example, now they have an idea. For example, this idea, they are now doing the analysis, right? And they're creating a business case. So business case is a document. Yeah, business case is a document for explaining, for documenting the why this project is undertaken. That is the need of this project. And you will add some risk, benefit, all this, right? Combined together. So that is the business case. And submit to the management for them to take the decision. Is it good or no? They can decide stop or proceed.
Yes, sir.
Go or no go decision, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
they approve it. So this is approval point. Approve it. It will come here. Then the project manager and sponsor all this starts, right? So here, most of the time, it is done by the business analyst team, business people, right? And also,
Yes,
you have some project manager is also involved in this. If that organization has one project manager, and the project manager has the capability and capacity to be part of this, developing the business case, the organization may always utilize their the skill, right, to develop the business case, because they can prepare the business case better than anyone else, in fact, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you're interested for this business related things, there is a certification called business analyst. That is called a professional in business analyst, or PBA. You know that, yeah? PBA, right? All right. So what is the product? What is product? So as I said you that after the project will produce a product. The product will come to the market and it goes like this, right? And it will introduce that product to the market, and the product has some growth, and it will once a maturity, and there is a decline. But remember that no company, no organization, no provider will allow the product to be declined from the market. Before that, they will start modifying that product or introducing new product, or adding some extra components, and they will revise, or maybe they will release a new version of that. That is called the product life cycle. So we have a project life cycle. What is the project life cycle? Analysis, design, build, test, deploy, deliver, and close. So what is the product life cycle? Introduction, growth, maturity, and decline, right?
Right.
Answer this question.
Build, feasibility, design, test, deploy, and close.
Yes, perfect, perfect. So what are the stages in a product life cycle?
Product development, introduction, growth,
development, and
maturity and decline.
growth.
We can say that, for example, yes, product life cycle start from the product, when the product launched in the market, right? Introduction, growth, maturity, decline, right? What happened, Jay, what is your question?
Yeah, I have a question here. So in this project phase, that continuous improvement will not come?
Yes. So see now that is. So that's the reason we are talking about initiating, planning, executing, and closing. But there is a stage. We cannot ignore the stage, right? That is called monitoring and controlling. So this monitoring and controlling is for planning, executing, even closing also, right? So this is that what you call, this is that actually the stages in the project management. So this is the stages in project management. So what I am trying to say that is the life cycle what is talking about, or we'll call it like a life cycle of the project. That is that analysis, design, build, test, and deploy, deliver, close, right? So this is the stages, or we can call it is the process groups. So what do you call this 5 stages? Initiating, planning, executing, closing, and monitoring and controlling. This is called a process groups. Don't forget that process groups, yeah, because so many processes involved in this, right? Process groups. So how many process groups? 5 process groups. What are they? Initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. Clear now?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Because without tracking and without controlling and without bringing back a project to that pre-disaster condition, very difficult, right?
Yes, sir.
The reason you should have that monitoring and controlling, because you are a doctor, your clinic is the monitoring and controlling, because you have to observe the project, right? Right.
So
That's why there is Six Sigma evaluation every time.
Yeah, DMAC. You have the DMAC, right? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And it is very important now. There is plan, do, check, act. You know the Deming cycle, right?
Yes, sir.
Plan, do, check, act. Yes. Always you have to, in project management, monitoring and controlling. That is the important thing for the project manager, because the project manager need to integrate so many things in order to execute the project. While executing the project, and he has to monitor and control the project. Even while planning the project, he has to monitor and control the project. Correct? It's very important.
Yes.
For this reason, he has to maintain a baselines, yeah, right? And we can have threshold also, like tolerance limited, right? Okay, then. And any questions? I hope you clear this concept what we explained till now, right?
So what is auto CL after executing?
Closing.
All right. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, closing. So again, I will say initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. Just in a short notice. Right. So this is important, right? This is must, as I said, anywhere in the world you go, any industries you use, you should follow this. Always keep this in your mind. Initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. Like your DMAC, right?
Yeah, DMAC. Yes, sir.
Sir, I'm having a question over here. Regarding the previous slide, you were explained about the business case. And as what you said, the project manager is also involved in preparing the business case. Depends on the organizational structure or organizational demand. So who takes the go, no-go decision in that case if project manager prepares the business case? Is that a portfolio manager?
CEO, the CEO, for example, that project sponsor, for example, upper management can take. Even PMO can support for this. Yeah. Whatever the structure, for example, you don't have that, for example, such committee to this. Then consult project management office, right? They will take care of it. If you have the project management office, they know that is function is like a consultant, right? Consultant. They will do. Their role is like a subject matter expert. They will do everything, right? And supporting the organization for the best practice, right?
Okay, but actual project manager role starts when he gets a go decision and projects means it decided to take over that project. So from that point of time, his role gets started, right?
Correct. His role started actually after the project charter is being ready in the organization. Because the sponsor the upper management, right, the sponsor will create a project charter and for managing a project. So once the project charter is ready, actually the project manager will join and start after that process. But in fact, even that that is just some very beginning things in the project charter. Then project manager is coming on board, then he will start completing the project charter and get the approval, because the project charter is actually that is a document which give the authorization for the project manager to utilize the resources within the organization to manage the project and complete the project. So that is actually the structure. But it is okay. It is okay because the organization has some project manager and maybe he is doing some other project. He has some that is expertise in that developing the business case. Maybe he will work part-time for the sponsor to complete that business case, right? It's okay. Depends on organizations, resource availability and also the fund availability, and maybe sometimes need to develop that in a fast, right? To develop this fast, you can take that service from the project manager. Already have that organization, right? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right.
The operation manager will be work under project manager, or there is separate role?
Project, you mean operation manager?
Yes.
Operation manager is that the functional managers. They have the separate, right? They have the separate. Function, there is an operation manager, then he has his own team, right? That is separate. Operation is nothing but like IT department, for example, marketing department, sales department, right? That is the operation, right? So that is the right. Okay. So you are clear with this concept, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Yeah, please.
Every organization has some designation level structure, team lead, assistant manager, senior manager, VPs, like that. In which level, from which level we'll consider this as a project manager or workforce manager, like that?
Again, your question again, please.
Every organization has some structure, associate, senior associate, leader, assistant manager, senior manager. After that, the group managers and AVPs, VPs, and managers, right? From which level we can consider them as a project manager?
Okay. See, we have like a different organization structure, and one structure we have is functional structure, right? In that we have like all this functional group. For example, we have the CEO at the top. Then we have HR manager, IT manager, sales manager. Under this all, they have their own team. So this is a functional team, right? Functional organization. And if you want to talk about a metrics organization, metrics, I'm talking about the metrics. Then you have a PMO, project management office, same, very close to this functional organization. You will attach a PMO. Then under the PMO, you have the project managers. Yeah. So it depends on the situation. Maybe sometimes you will take some of the people from the functional unit also to manage the project. Part-time you can take. Depends on the the project and organization strategy, and also the power of the the project manager, and also the importance of the project, right? So in this case, you may take some people from different functional units, and you will set up this to manage the project. So that project managers will work within that PMO. So this is called a metrics organization. So we talk about functional organization, then we talk about metrics organization, and also we can find one more organization that is called a projectized organization or project oriented. In projectized organization, for example, you have CEO, below CEO, for example, CFO, whatever the case. Yeah? Then below that, there is a PMO office. Then under the PMO, there are many project managers. So these project managers will manage different projects. So they have their own team. So the team is reporting to project manager. So that is called a project-oriented organization, right? You got the point, right? So in this case, so I discuss about functional organization, metrics organization, and project-based organization. In which organization do you think that project managers have high power?
Yes, manufacturing have also.
Like no, yeah, project-based organization, project-based, yeah, project-based organization. But the disadvantage is, no, if you have that project-based project managers, maybe they are hired for completing like no a project, maybe like 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. After completing the project, there's a question where these people will go back. Maybe they can go back to their, maybe some other department, for example, they have hired for this, and maybe they have hired for no from outside to only for managing this project or to be part of this project. In this case, termination, right? Maybe goodbye, right? So whatever the case. Based on this, you have the project managers, yeah. And I think you cleared your questions.
Yes, sir.
Right. So think about like that, yeah. So always know a organization will hire or select a project manager based on the project, and also somehow they will prepare the project chart, right? Maybe sometimes they will take some decisions. Oh, this project manager, for example, Pranjal is a project manager, is working in that project. He may finish the project by next month. So after completing this, we can take him to manage this project also. Depends on your capability and also that credibility you gained in the organization, right? So it depends on the situations. So this is like pre-assigned role, right? Sometimes the project manager will be taken within the organization because of his experience and skills, right? Maybe sometimes they have to take a decision to hire from outside, right? To manage this special projects. Right. Any other questions? We can move forward now, right? Okay, perfect. So let me share now and then right. Okay. Right. Yeah. Right. So let us see now. We are coming to that very important point in project management aspect. Yeah. Creating a high performing team. Yes. So you need to build a team. Build a team. You can see here now. Define team ground rules. Negotiate project agreements. Empower team members and stakeholders. Train team members and stakeholders. Engage and support virtual teams. Virtual teams. We can have a team also, no, virtually distributed, right? Not co-located, yeah. Maybe distributed from different parts of the country. So build a shared understanding about project. So it's very important. These are the task. You can see here, right? And what is this? It's a domain, creating a high performing team. So what do you think, which is the domain? The domain is people domain, right? People domain. Right. So these are the enabler, build a team. So it is an enabler. So under this enabler, we can have many tasks, right? So that is what we are going to discuss. And our module is creating a high performing team, right?
So, sir, stakeholders should be have a power because they have authority, right?
Yeah. See, stakeholder can be from authorities, regulatories, decision makers, steering committee, right? Because this is all people impacting the project, right?
Yes, sir.
Their role in the project can be influenced, involved, right? And they are expecting some requirements from the project also, right? We'll discuss. It's coming very soon. Yeah, just wait for that. Don't worry. This all whatever is coming in your mind, as a doubt, right? It will come throughout our studies. So don't worry about these things. Just we started only, right? So you're going to build a team, right? And so here now, we are going to discuss about a resource management plan. resource management plan. Correct. So this plan will help you to identify the resources. So what are the resources you need and how you can bring on board, acquire, and how to manage the human resources needed to successfully complete the project. Because your intention is to create an effective team, right? High-performing team. So when you talk about project teams, already we discussed that, right? Project teams, a set of individuals, right? Performing the work of the project to achieve its objectives. Always remember this word, right? Objectives. So what you have to do? You will estimate the team. Estimate. That means how many people you need. How many people you need based on their role, responsibilities, right? You can create a job description also. Then you have to bring these people on board. Secure the team. Manage. Then you will manage the team, including outside of the team. Maybe some people inside, maybe some people from outside.
Okay.
So whenever I talk about this project management, so you can have a role in, maybe you are a project manager or maybe you are a project team, belong to that customer or client, for example, government. Maybe you will be a member or project manager of a contractor or vendor. Those contractor vendor is coming to government to do the work also, to support them also, right? So think about it that way, you know. Right. Then only you understand this concept clearly, right? And yes, you have to track the team performance. So you can use some tools. We are coming to that point also, right? And how to improve the team performance? Always a feedback mechanism. So what is the meaning of feedback? Feedback means
quality reports, market
Discussion on
feedback.
regular basis.
Feedback is always a better tool for the improvement, right? So
Yes,
we will see that criticism and also some good things, right? And some appreciations, right? So this all you can use for the continuous improvement. Also, it is removing impediments. Remember this word, impediments. Impediment means the bottleneck. Bottleneck. See that, the bottle. When you talk, there is a, if you are talking about a bottle, there is a neck like this, right? You know this, yeah? So bottleneck. So that means obstacles, yeah? So that is the obstacles. Problems, resolving problems, issues and conflicts. Always conflicts, wherever there is human being, right? Conflicts, right? So we need to resolve also. To have a productive environment, project environment, right? So when you talk about team member requirements, it is important to have the relevant skill to do the work effectively or efficiently, right? Avoid a single point of failure, because maybe due to a single resource, single person, maybe lack of a single person. So this will be like a point of failure also, right? Because of the presence of that person, or maybe because of absence of that person also, right? Because of that presence of that person's, maybe we'll continue with maybe later stage, maybe you have to take some decision also, right? And also remember that we are preferring the general specialist with a deep expertise in particular area. See now, so always we are preferring to have the T specialists, T-shaped people and I-shaped people. I-shaped means always deep knowledge in one particular area. So T means, see, this is the deep knowledge, for example, in this project management, and also he has knowledge in quality management, and also he has knowledge in service management. See now this is, so this type of people we call it a general specialist. So you have that only deep knowledge in, for example, quality management. So that is called I-shape. So what do you think, which is good, I-shape or T-shape for the organization?
T-shape.
T-shape, yeah, right. Acquire physical resources also, right? So not only for the team resources, like physical resources, like equipment, machineries, materials, and all this for your project, right? It depends on the industries. You can plan for that, your materials and machineries for your project, right? And yes, now that coming to your points, now who are the project stakeholders? So you have the organization, and you have the sponsor, customer, supplier, employees, end user, managers, community, project manager, and project team. And these people all influencing, impacting. They may have some roles, stakes. So that's the reason, because they have a stakes. They have a stake in the project, right? They have some role in the project, right? In different perspectives, right? So that's the reason it's called a stakeholder. So they are holding some stakes, right, in the project, right? So there can be some stakeholders are positively, some stakeholders are negatively. For example, you are now planning to construct a road. The people who is residing now beside the road, they're negative stakeholder. They don't accept the road, right? Because it will now impact them, right? So they're a negative stakeholder, right? Keep that in your mind, right? So as a project manager, your role is to change them to a positive and also supportive stakeholder, right? It takes some time also to change them from negative to positive and also to part of the supporting the project. So that you have an important role in project management is to identify the stakeholder. Can you tell that if you are not identifying the stakeholder, what will happen? What will happen?
Nobody will take responsibility.
Yeah. So that means you don't know that who are the people. For the people who is expecting some requirements. Requirements may be like some report, some tools to be part of your project. They have some requirements in the project. They have some, they are expecting some interface. They're expecting some plug and play. They're expecting like some report, weekly report. They're also want to attend your meetings, progress meeting, right? So this is the way you have to capture in the very beginning, actually, the very beginning, right? So in which stage of the project you can do this, identify the stakeholder? Can you guess whether it is initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing? What do you think?
I think it should, like, we should do this in pre-project activity.
No, now we are not talking about any pre-project. We are talking about the project.
Initiating stage.
Initiating, that is excellent. Initiating. Yeah, initiating, right. Right. So that is very important. Yeah. So in the very beginning, you cannot get a detailed list of the stakeholder, right? No, because you are the initiating, right? So gradually and incrementally, you can add many stakeholders, right? So in the very beginning, you will identify key stakeholders, right? Then you can elaborate. So this is very important. And some stakeholder, they come to you, and if you say that,
Has it got dropped?
Sir Lal.
I think he got disconnected.
Yes.
Yes, I guess.
yes, right. Yeah, I disconnected actually. Yes, true. Are you able to hear my voice? Sorry for
yes,
that.
Sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can hear now.
Right. Right. And yeah, so what you're trying to say?
Should we get some break in between?
Yeah, so we are going to break now. We are going for a break. And right.
How many minutes?
So we can go for a break.
It's for a break time?
Yeah, so we'll go for a break and we can, we want to go for prayer and we can, yeah. So we can take a 15 minutes break, yeah.
Okay, 15 minutes.
All right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So break for 15 minutes and so we'll join after 15 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
So one quick question before we disperse for break. Can we have these pages saved in the shared
It
drive?
will be available in that our shared folder, yeah. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you, sir.
It will be
So your
available in
presentation
the
also?
shared folder, yeah. So we'll make it available, yeah. So don't worry. Right. Okay. So we'll meet after 15 minutes, yeah.
Sir, when we can get this your presentation?
It will be available tomorrow. You can check, yeah. Tomorrow. You already have the shared folder, right?
Yes, I think so. Let's me check.
Yeah. Yes. Tomorrow it will be. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi, welcome back. Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Yeah, welcome back. Okay. So it is very important aspect, in project management. As soon as you joined the organization and complete the project charter, we'll discuss this later stage. And you can start identifying the stakeholder. And what is their need and all this, expectations and requirements. Yes. So we have many tools and techniques, that in project management and other areas also will use many tools and techniques like expert judgment. Expert judgment means to get the expert opinion. Maybe you will expert judgment. You can consult the project management office. You as a project manager, right? You are also an expert. Maybe some team leader will be expert. Maybe some team member will be expert, right? Maybe some other project manager, you can discuss about. So this is the way you can have that expert judgment. And also you can use data gatherings, collecting the data, right? Collecting data is important in project management. Because data will give you so many informations. Based on the information, right, you will do the analysis, right? The data you are able to do the analysis, which give you the result. Based on the result, you can take some decision, right? And brainstorming. Brainstorming means I will explain this. So I will explain this in coming.
Discuss together.
Yeah, I'll explain one by one. So brainstorming. Let me see it is there or no. No, it is not there. So I will explain here. So brainstorming means see, now you will invite a stakeholder. You will invest stakeholder, for example, to discuss a particular problem, right? Particular problem and or particular aspects, anything, right? And you want to discuss. In this case, you will invite the stakeholders. Stakeholders, the project team, for example, right? So everybody is coming, and you will collect the ideas. You will collect the ideas. There is no criticism. There is no problem. You are ready to accept any type of ideas, right? So that intention is to collect the ideas in a short period of time. Then you will further you will do the analysis. So that collecting the ideas, then analysis, then you are able to get some solution for that, right? So that is the objective of the brainstorming, because you are getting ideas from different people, right? And that is brainstorming. And questionnaire and surveys you can use, right? And
Yes,
you ask this stakeholder and collecting the requirements, or you can make it available online. What are the methods, effectively you can use? Then you will use data analysis. Then you will do that stakeholder analysis, identifying the stakeholder, understanding their needs, right? Document analysis. You have many documents, right? So maybe now you are checking the documents to understand about the stakeholder who is involved in the project, right? So based on that situations, you can use this analysis technique. That is the document analysis, right? Right. So it is very important, the stakeholder mapping, because we want to map the stakeholder using, for example, grid model. So you can use a grid model, you can use a salience model, and also you can use a cubic model. So these are the three techniques we'll use to put your stakeholder or map your stakeholder. And grid model is all two-dimensional, and salience, that is a Venn diagram, right? It's a Venn diagram. and cubic model. So I will show you this. Then you will say that directions of influence, upward directions, that is CEO, or down. This is the direction of influence. For example, this is the upward direction, and this is the downward direction, and this is the sideward. Other project managers, yeah, and this is outward. That is the outside people like authorities and all this. So this is the way you can have the direction of influence. Then you will conduct the meeting also, right? So when you talk about the grid model, so you can now put power and interest. So this model is called now power interest model. And also you can replace power and interest, you can replace with power influence. So we can use power influence and also impact influence. So the same place, you can put this here in this. So this is the grid model. So you're developing a grid. In this grid, you have the power interest or power influence or power influence or power impact and influence. See now that you will divide the quadrants into 4. You will divide the quadrants into 4. And for example, if you have a stakeholder, you identify stakeholder, and the stakeholder has high power and high interest. So where do you map this stakeholder? You get like you have stakeholder like B, stakeholder H and F. So that means high power and high interest. So how do you interact with these people? Manage closely. So that is the strategy you have to use. So what is the strategy you can use? Manage closely, because high power and high interest. Yes, good. For example, CEO. Yes, so you can put here, right? Similarly, you will identify that those stakeholders which falls in this grid, right? In this quadrants. This is a quadrants, right? And similarly, you have that stakeholder with high interest, and you have the high power, you have the high power and low interest. So what you will do? Keep satisfied, right? So you can identify some stakeholder in the keys set, that is the keep satisfied also, right? So you have to keep satisfied them, because there's no interest, because the people the stakeholder has no interest in the project, but they have the power. So that's the reason keep satisfied. So you have to use your the right communication, the right to know that what you have to submit the report and to whom, when you have to call them for the meetings, and all this you can decide according to their engagement strategies, right? And some stakeholder you can find here like stakeholder G, D, something like this. So that means low power and low interest, but you have to monitor those stakeholders. So you will have that monitoring the stakeholder strategy, because the stakeholder they may change to high power and high interest also in later stage. So you have to always keep an eye to monitor them. And also you can have some stakeholder with a low power and high interest. They have the interest in this project. So keep informed. You have to keep informed those stakeholders regarding the status of the project or whatever this case. Yeah? Similarly, you are able to create the power influence and power impact influence also, right? And also that a 3-dimensional and mapping. This is that is called for example, modified form of our grid model. Here we can represent power, attitude, and interest. Attitude of the stakeholder, power of the stakeholder, and also the interest. And so this is 3-dimensional, right? And 3 factors you can represent, not like the grid model. The grid model is only for 2. And see now, high power. Look at this, guys. High power, high attitude, and high interest. Yes, this is a savior, right? And it's not important to learn this actually, that the interpretation that for that exam point of view, but understand this. The way you can use this, that models for representing the stakeholder. Right. And there is salience model. Salience model is like the Venn diagram. In engineering, you might heard about this, right? That is the Venn diagram. And we are using this salience model, and stakeholder, right? Yeah. This is actually, see, your role is now to identify the stakeholder, and then you have to map, for example, the savior. This is, for example, CEO. Remember that, the CEO, right? For example, some stakeholder is always what is that? High interest, but low. High interest, but what happened is low. I will show that. That high interest, but power is low, attitude is also, right? And some stakeholder always coming to your office. Maybe they're coming to your cabin even before you reach the office, right? So you may feel that irritant, right? Irritant stakeholder, but they have interest in the project, right? So this is a way you have to identify the stakeholder, right? This is your role. You have to identify, for example, right? For example, maybe like municipality. For example, like municipality, your friend. They are providing that is, for example, but about here that attitude, right? High attitude, right? High attitude. And it's good, your friend, right? He will support providing the document, providing the report, providing the some documents which will provide, to move the project forward, like, for example, some documents, if you ask, they will provide this, right? So this is where you will always identify the stakeholder. This is your role, and you can put this according to your understanding, right? Then you can plan from this. That is actually we discussed in later stage, the stakeholder engagement level, right? And regarding the power and urgency, and also the legitimacy of the stakeholder, and positions, legitimacy. So the power and urgency and legitimacy, you can do this this is just intersections, for example. So you have many stakeholder like and you can have the stakeholder like this, and the stakeholder which you find middle somewhere here, and this stakeholder, you cannot ignore them. That is a definite stakeholder. You have to have such a strategy to interact and communicate and engage always, right? Because power is high and urgency may be like and also the legitimacy, right? All this coming together, right? And in the higher. So this is a way, and you have to use. So whatever is relevant to this small project, you can use grid model, and large project, you can use salience model, because you have many stakeholders, right? So you can see that intersection, right? You can use the salience model, yeah. So this is newly introduced actually this by PMI regarding that the cubic model and salience model, but in the older times the grid model was there in the PIM book. Right. Now you have to identify what is the stakeholder expectations. For example, they are expecting for example, the project will not interrupt my departmental work. Yes, I expect that the project's outcome will improve our existing system. So this is one of the the requirements. Their interest in the project, how this is these people are interested with the project. For example, how they are engaging with to understand about the new skills. When you conduct some training, are they coming to join the training, right? Something like this, that's interest. And also the level of influence of the stakeholder, and also you can determine the power, the authority. Power means always authority, right? What does the authority have? They have some decision-making role in the project, correct? This is all you can identify, right? And accordingly, you can engage and communicate with the state. So that's the reason you are understanding the requirements. And this will really help you to develop a stakeholder register. So now you are able to complete your stakeholder register. So these are the attributes, for example, name, position, role, contact information, requirements, expectations, influence, and classification. So this is the way you are able to develop your stakeholder register. It's very important. As soon as you complete your project charter, you can create the stakeholder register. You can see now the many stakeholder, their organization, project role, requirements, expectations, influence, areas of interest, internal, external, and support role. All these attributes you can be filled. But this is in the initiating, you cannot find all the stakeholders, right? This will keep on updating by the project what is you pass through the different stages, right? And different life cycle, for example, right? Goes to it. So your duty is to identify new stakeholders. Even before closing the project also, maybe you'll find some new stakeholder, right? That can be done. Right. And RASI chart. Any of you have heard about RASI chart? RASI chart. RASI.
Yes.
Yes.
RASI chart means one of the important tool. It is part of the resource responsibility assignment metrics, RAM. You might heard about this RAM, right? One of the beautiful chart we can develop actually. In the chart, RAM, responsibility assignment metrics. One of the example for RAM is the RASI chart. So example of RAM is the RASI chart. Yeah. So RASI chart means R. R means, what is the meaning of R? Responsible. Who is responsible? Who is doing the work? Accountable. That means who is owning that that work, for example, the power, taking the decision, for example, right? And that accountable person, right? And consult. For example, while doing this work, to whom we can consult, right? For the expert, for the next level of advice or recommendations. And after completing this, to whom to report, inform, to update the records, for example, right? So this way we can have many roles in this, right? For example, you have activity 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are the persons, for example, and activity 1, and PMO director, accountable and responsible, consult for the sponsor, IT manager consult, change manager consult, procurement manager. So this is the way you can see this. So keep it in mind, very important point. And also you might have noticed, and also you should implement. Always the accountable is only a person, only one person. You cannot assign more than one accountable. Do you agree that statement? Accountable, the owner. Otherwise problem, right? Problem, yeah. You will the team, the people who is doing the work will impact, if many accountability, right? Always, only one account. You can check here, right? Yeah, you can see only one. No, not here, right? Only one. Other roles, yes, can have multiple, right? Multiple people in that. So like the RASI chart you can prepare, and also the organizational breakdown structure, obvious. So that is also important hierarchy chart. For example, your project. This is your project, villa project. And so you can have, for example, different functions.
What's the meaning of breakdown, sir?
Yes, I didn't hear you.
What is the meaning organizational breakdown structure?
Okay. This is hierarchy chart. Hierarchy.
Okay,
this is a project,
So
this is always we say that organizational breakdown structure, work breakdown.
Can we say? Can we say
we have many. We have many breakdown structure. For example, OBS, WBS, risk breakdown structure, then resource breakdown structure. Yeah. So here now, organizational breakdown. For example, your project, right? Organizations. See now, this is CEO. For example, CEO. Then CEO. Then you have that. For example, CFO. Then here you have that different roles, right? These are the different. Then you have the team, right? Like this. Correct. So this is the organizational structure. So here you are developing your organization structure for the project. So in the project, and you have marketing department, IT department, etc. See, what is this? This is the activities. These are the activities, right? These are the activities. So this activity you are taking from WBS. We are going to discuss this very soon. Yeah. What is the meaning of work breakdown structure? Any of you know that WBS?
No, sir.
No, right? We'll discuss. because this is this activities coming from WBS. So WBS, this activity always assigned with some code. You can see some code here, right? Unique IDs. So this is coming from, so this activity, customer needs survey. This activity is coming from WBS. That is part of the marketing department. They are responsible to do this, right? Maybe we'll assign for 10 days, for example. Amend sales policies, we'll give some 5 days to do this by the marketing department. So this is one of the activity items in your project. But right, you got the point? This is the way you can create the OBS also, right? And organizational breakdown structure. Yes. Now team skill appraisals, very important in project management, right?
Yes, sir.
System. Always evaluate every team member on equal basis. So every team member, not individual, right? There is no fairness, right?
Yes.
You see that we are going to discuss that also, right? So individual appraisal system are subject to bias, correct? Subject to bias, yes, based on supervisor's subjective assessment on employee, right? So in nowadays that the project management performance, right? The team performance. We don't say that individual performance. Always we talk about team performance, yeah. Team performance, yes. Team. So here now, but we have to evaluate also, right? Team, right? Individual also. It's very important to assess the individual. You will always appraisal of the individual plus appraisal of the team also. So the team skill appraisal help to identify team strength and weakness, right? In terms of for example, what is that? Soft skills, and build a trust and effective communications. Very important project management communication. We are coming to that point as well, yeah. So pre-assignment. So to assessing the candidate. So who is actually normally doing this? Assessing the candidate is done by
HR.
Yeah. So depends on the organizations, they have that policies to use particular tools for that, for example, right? And HR is always expertise in using this, right? Or in recommending. Project manager also can be recommended based on his experience, right? Actual surveys, for example, ability test, structured reviews, focus groups, and specific assessment. So these are some of the tools you can use for the pre-assignment, right? Because you are now assigning that, assessing the candidates before assigning and confirming team roles. So it is very important, right, to assess, right, for the people. And maybe, for example, one person. So we'll assess that, and that person is fit for this role, right? So this is the way you will do the pre-assignment. And the project team again, right? And it is very important, because remember that project team nowadays not like local team. We can have like a dispersed team, right? Virtual teams coming from, and also it is not like we can have virtual teams. We can also have the team physically located the same place, but coming from different parts of the world, right? Like different culture, different gender, physical ability varies, right? Depends on the region, depends on the countries, language different, right? And so the team development help you to improve the trust between each other. And also it is good to develop a creative, collaborative culture, right? So it will always give the result. And also remember that if you allow the people to take in the decision making and also to do some experiments, because nowadays innovative ideas, right? And this will really help the people to motivate. And Ayat Mohammed, what is your question? Are all of these common definitions we must know first? Can you? Yes. Yeah. Your question.
Sorry, because I got lost somehow. You gave us a lot of definitions, a lot of tasks. Yeah. So I don't get the title of all of this. So we moved from identifying the stakeholders, the tool and techniques, and then we jumped on now team project and team skill appraisal. So I lost in the middle. So can you please put a title for all of this?
You want to see the title, right?
Yes, please.
I will go back. So just missed out. This is what you are expecting to have this one?
Yeah, the stakeholders, I got the stakeholders and the tools and techniques to identify who are our stakeholders. And then after stakeholders, we move to.
So here our team is, this is our title is creating a high performing team, right? So that is our title, obviously. Right? All we are now discussing about the team, the stakeholder, all this, the people, actually the people, because we have a domain that is the people, right? What is the domain? Domain is people, right? That's the reason we are discussing about related with people, right? Good, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And also, I will tell you one thing regarding that your question. It's an important question actually. I should address that question. Yeah. So your question, and can you talk regarding your question? What you posted in the chat box? So everybody should know that. Actually. Can you?
Excuse me, you're talking to me?
Yeah, yes. Are all of these common definitions we must know first, right? Yeah. So definition, see, nowadays, now we are professionals and also not like children, that is mugging this and by hearting this. For us, a professional grown up, and it's not easy for us to exactly know what mentioned here in this too, see that. So what you can do is PMP exam point of view. And PMP is not testing your the definition. It is it is called a psychometric exam, and which will really test you whether you really understand the concept. All the PMP questions are situational questions. All the PMP questions are situational questions. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, right. Situational questions. So and so. But better understand the concept and in your way how you are understanding this question, because you will get the situational questions, and that means there is a situations, and maybe like the situation is talking about a tool, the situation is talking about a technique, situation is talking about an approach, situation is talking about a best practice, maybe situation is talking about a framework, maybe situation is talking about to take some decisions, right? So as a project manager, always think about you have to have some decision making. You cannot ignore. So that is very important, right? Whatever you see, maybe like problem solving, you have to take some action, apply some rules, you have to take some actions. Maybe you have to track the project, do this, and finding some solutions, do this, right? And meeting sponsor, yes, conduct some meetings, yes, submitting some report, yes. And escalation, maybe you need to escalate also sometimes, right? Need to escalate to the upper management. So that means always an integrated and also problem solving, right? Always, if you have this mentality in your mind as a project manager, the life is going to be very easy, because take actions. If you see something, take actions, and also like trust. And also it is very important to show the visibility to everybody. What is happening in the project, communicate, and like and always share the project goal. Very important, project goal you should share. Then everybody will know that what is the goal of the project. Then you can see that their support, and you will see the result after you share all this your project goals, for example, organization goal, for example, right? Everybody will understand. Otherwise, people don't know that where what for this project, what is the goal of the project, what is the goal of the organization, right? Right. And so this is so see now that language, improve trust, and collaborative culture, and also it is very important the role. Very important the role. A person's function in a project, the project manager, business analyst, for example, and risk specialist, for example, right? And team leader, for example, or site supervisor, for example, or developer, for example, right? So the role must be, it's very important. He must know what is his role, because nowadays the people engage in the project, maybe doing this task, doing that task, maybe somebody is calling him and assigning some task that also he's doing. So many tasks he's doing, and and he is also confused what is his role in the project and in the organization, right? So it is very important, no, a person's functions, not define the functions, and also assign the duties. So this is the role. For example, this is the team leader. These are your responsibilities. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the responsibilities. And what is the competencies? For example, skills and capacities required. For example, what are the skills you are expecting? Problem solving, critical thinking, right? And conflict resolutions, for example, right? Communication, for report making, for example, and handling some software, for example, creating some report, for example, and designing some dashboard, for example, right? And also the authority. Who has that authority power to use certain resources, make decisions, and accept deliverables? Because as a project manager, anybody in the organization, not only in the project, the management, or who is the person is responsible to monitor, is always looking for the deliverables. What is the deliverables you submitted? What do you submit? See, deliverables means any deliverables you can submit, but that is not the case. The case is, for example, it makes difference. It creates some value, right, in the project or in the organization. Always they are seeing that the progress of the people, the progress of the project is based on how many deliverables you've done, which will create some business value. This is very important, business value. Business value, right? So you are developing a software, for example, you are creating a software for the sales. You are creating a software for the sales. Once you deliver the software, it will help the organization to increase the sales. Yes or no? To increase the sales, that means they will get, for example, 20% of revenue increased with the software what you developed, and 20% of the revenue increased. Revenue increased. So you know that revenue increased. So can you tell which is that value here? So this is the business value. 20% of the revenue increased. See now, software you developed, and this was for the sales improvement, and there is nothing happened. There is no sales increased. Then what is the business value with this product, right? So always create the business value. So for this purpose, you can add some the actual requirements, right? Actual requirements in that that is project. So that's very important, right? So these are all important: role, responsibility, competency, and authority, right? And yes, so this is normally we call it's like a job description, right? And role, responsibilities, authority, competencies, academic also you can include, right? Academic qualifications and certification, for example, PMP, Six Sigma, and all this experience. It's very important, right? And once you have the experience, that makes difference in the project. Not only the project, any of this role, right? And also the reporting hierarchy, you're reporting to whom? And the staff is reporting to you, you're reporting to whom, right? CEO, for example, or PMO, director, for example. So now, resource management plan, right? So resource management plan is it's a document, and also it is a component of the project management plan. See, remember, this all goes in the last stage. It's a project management plan. So remember that there is a plan we will develop. So that is called a project management plan at the end. At the end, you will see a project management plan. So resource management plan is a subsidiary plan, is part of the project management plan. So this will come here. So keep it in mind, resource management plan you are preparing, and later stage at the end, you will transfer this plan to the project management plan. This is our master plan. In later stage, I will discuss. Yeah, right. So resource management plan will help you to identify the resource, because you have some policies, procedure, and also some tools, right? And whenever you identify the resources, maybe you have to follow some HR policies, right? And budget also, like instead of maybe sometimes you cannot consider the senior, you will always go for the junior, right? Because if you go for the senior having many experience, maybe you don't need that for the position, right? So this all you have to identify, right? So it has two parts. One is team management plan and physical resource management plan. So the team management plan, how you are managing the team, right? Team. And resource management plan, how do you manage the resource, that the physical resources, like machineries, materials, right? So whenever we talk about the resources, this 3M, keep it in mind. 3M. You know what is the meaning of 3M? 3M.
Man, machine, mother nature.
Man machine method.
Correct. Manpower, machineries, and materials. We have many, actually 5M also, but for the time it's enough. Yeah. Machineries. Yeah? So this always keep it in your mind. And also we need to have the infrastructure capabilities, right? Facilities, all this as part of the resource management, right? And project organization chart, right? And for example, this project sponsor. Now your question is clearing, right? Project steering committee. You got it? Steering committee is here. And then project manager. See now the project manager, right? So the steering committee is taking the decision for the project, right? And project manager, and you have the team leader, right? And reporting to the project manager. And also if you have a supplier, project manager, for example, to be defined, maybe you didn't find it, right? So that is also the project manager, supplier from the supplier, or the contractor side, or the vendor side, or the external parties, external contract, right? Reporting to the project manager, right? And this may be this project manager, depends on the organization. Maybe they have the PMO, then this project manager is reporting to PMO, right? So this is the way you can restructure this organizational chart also, right? And staff is reporting to this, this is the way you can create. It's very important, maybe some organization is lacking to develop this, because if you have this structure, that will always solidify that the business operations and also the project management. So organization chart means the visualization of the team and its reporting relationship for a specific project, right? So you can create for each and every project according to that is the project. Yes, training. Training. Do you think that the training is important, or we can ignore? We don't need to have some fund for the training. We don't.
No, it's important.
Important. And if you're working in a better organization, standard organization, you don't need to ask them. Actually, they already have the fund for this. They will include this fund in the project, in the business that is planned, right?
Correct.
And especially, yeah, please. Yeah. Especially for the organization has consultant, right? Consultant is creating that, that annual, right, plan. For example, 1 year plan. They will always create, always, add some budget for, especially for the training and development. Right? And members may need the training to perform on the project. So now here we are talking about the project. So I'm just focusing the project, right? And if it's an organizational perspective, yes, of course, project or to enhance their performance. So for training nowadays, like online is also available, right? After the COVID, we experienced, how we can effectively conduct that online training, right? And classroom, computer-based also, and also on-the-job training while doing the work, right? And also the people will be involved in this to understand about how the people, that is getting some hands-on, right? Experience, and it's part of the training. From another project team member, mentoring and coaching, right? And this is also good, mentoring and coaching. So what is the meaning of mentoring? Mentoring means mentoring and coaching, right? So training, mentoring, and coaching. Mentor. Mentor means mentoring. So for example, you want to pass the PMP, you need a mentor. So mentor is always with you. Mentor will always with you to recommend you do this like that, right? And that will be like for a short period for you to give the recommendation to do this, right? Mentoring. And mentoring, for example, already an experienced person is giving the mentoring to and less experienced person, right? And coaching. Coaching means you have a goal. To achieve that goal, somebody should be with you all the time to do the coachings, right? For example, the sports, the sports team, always they have a coach, right? Always, the coach will train them, right? Do like this, always give some trainings, always, giving that, do like this, do that, because to achieve the goal, right, to achieve that. It will be a long term, right, and training, for example. You can have the mentoring and coaching. And also it's very important, for example, a project team lack management or technical skills, and such skills can be developed as part of the project work. So you have to develop that skill also, right? Technical skills in terms of involving the project and also in the industry technical skills, right? Because some person need this, without this need, there is no use for the project team now to move forward, right? So you have to provide the training. Yeah, that is true. Let me check that. If anybody please unmuted, just please mute and off your mic. Right? It's good, no, to have this what is called productive ambience. Know that, because our the training, we can make it more effective if you avoid such sound from the background. Right. Thank you very much. Yeah. Right. So recognition plan. Recognition plan is also good to have that. So recognition is sort of motivations. Correct? Motivations. So what do you think regarding the motivation? Is it important in project, environment, or organization perspective? The motivation.
Sure.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, motivation is. I will tell you some motivational theories, in later stage. Whenever there is we have that topic for this. Yeah? So motivation is very, very important. And if the team has no motivation, and including you and me will look through the windows. Look through the windows. Why we are looking through the windows? You know that, yeah? Why we are looking through the windows, no? What is the reason for looking through the windows? Not focusing on the work. What is the reason? You are not motivated. You are not motivated at all, right? Right. So you are not motivated at all then? Yes. So how we can make a motivations, right? Recognition plan. To recognize the people by giving like incentives, promotions, and responsibilities, decision making, challenging jobs, and these promotions, salary increment, appreciation. Yes, you've done good job. That is also a recognition, right? That is also sort of motivations, and also best employee of the month, for example. Right? And this is the way the project also can take some decision, right? And when we can plan for this, and when we can award this recognition, right? So we can plan it, then also we can execute that recognition, right? Virtual teams. So that is another challenge. Do you think that nowadays it's a challenge, the virtual teams? If you have the virtual teams in your project or organization, what do you think? There are pros and cons for this, right? And the globalization of the project has promoted the need of virtual teams. And here we know that there is no face-to-face, but we can have that virtual, that is collaboration tools. For example, what are the collaboration tools? Collaboration tools make us that is virtual face-to-face, right? We can meet, we can see. But however, in fact, face-to-face communication is that very effective communication. Whatever we talk about, that face-to-face communication, right? Okay, so here now the virtual teams, what are the pros? Pros means what is the advantage, for example, right? Advantage means you can get your desired skill anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world, right? And also like, less cost. You don't have that office. You don't have the mobilization, right? And you don't need to set up that, what is called the cabin for the employee, right? And office setup. So that is the advantage. And also you can give the opportunity for the disabled people, physically, maybe disabled, maybe some problem with their leg or hand or whatever the case. Yeah, they're unable to walk, they're unable to travel, right? In this case also, you can give the chance for the people to start their work at home, right? So this is the virtual team. So that is the pros. But cons, again, there is no face-to-face, for example, and maybe sometimes the communication problems, right? Even though we have the communication strategies and technologies and methods, effective methods, right? The Zoom, for example, and instant messaging, for example, WhatsApp, Facebook, Google Meet, whatever the case, right? And also nowadays we can also make available our project management tools like, software, digital software, and Kanban board. We will discuss this Kanban board, digital Kanban board, and we have the shared software, right? And MS project, that is the server version. We can use it. People can access. And nowadays the software is server based, right? People can access from anywhere in the world, and also it has all inbuilt. That is collaboration, like that is, for example, Kanban board and daily Scrum. We'll discuss this in later stage. What is the meaning of Kanban board? What is the meaning of daily Scrum? All this can actually, we can make use of it. But still, there are some cons also, right? And also you can use like some trial technologies, which is the most effective we can use, and use Kanban board. Kanban board, Kanban board we'll discuss in later stage, because this all like radiation information radiators, where you can get the information like what is the status of the project, how many how much work you have completed, how much work is remaining, and which team is working for this, for example, the work in progress or WAP. This is all we can see using a Kanban board. So Kanban board is important in project management nowadays. Every project, whether it is traditional project management or agile project management, they use information radiator like the Kanban board. And yes, so whenever we talk about this, and yes, money part is important, right? So you have to estimate the cost, how much, right? Because it is part of the project budget, right? We have some important areas for the cost management, right? Cost is also important. So cost of resources. And project manager should estimate the cost of resource effectively based on considering the cost effectiveness, right? And has to consider, and because you have to make that cost effectiveness also, you cannot increase the cost, but he has to optimize, right, in a better way, right? So effectively use that, the cost. Project needs, use the availability of this, experience, their knowledge, skills, attitude. So attitude is nowadays important, right? Regional or international candidate as per the project needs and HR policies, right? Based on this, project needs and attitude is nowadays important, that HR will test the attitude of the people, right? You know that, right? The attitude of the people. Right. So this is the cost of resources. Accordingly, you are able to estimate the cost, right? And machineries, materials, and human. And you can include this part of the cost management, right? So there will be a cost management plan also you can prepare. And then you are able to assigning the responsibilities. So project manager is responsible to assign the team to the project, right? Whenever we talk about that, assigning the responsibilities and taking them to the project on board, so consider that academic qualifications and what are the certifications they've done based on the role, for example, the project manager, for example, PMP, for example, quality management, right? You are involved in this quality project, then Six Sigma, for example, right? The knowledge, your project manager knowledge, industry knowledge, what are the skills, what is the experience, the attitude and global and local representation. So we will always consider locally oriented people and also the global, because we want to bring that global people also, right? We have the culture to bring the people from all over the world, right? And to get all this, the skills and expertise to make use in your project. So that's the reason organization will plan and also has strategy to bring the people around the world, right? And assigning responsibilities, and keep it in mind, we have two types of project management. Yeah. And also we can add one more. There are three types of project management. One is waterfall. Next one is agile. And then we have the hybrid. So these are the three types of project management. And based on that project nature, based on the requirements, uncertainty or certainty and complexity, and you can decide what is the suitable approach you can implement. I will discuss this in later stage, regarding the waterfall, agile and hybrid. We have a topic for this, to discuss. So I may discuss, I would like to discuss during that period of time, regarding the waterfall, agile and hybrid. Please wait for that, right? So this is, so in waterfall, always we have a WBS. What is the meaning of WBS? WBS means now you can learn that work breakdown structure. work breakdown structure. So what is WBS? We need to learn this, no, in coming days. Yeah? So we learn that also. So don't worry about it. So whatever is not understanding now, and whatever is not, whatever is not, I'm covering now, we will cover in later stage. Yeah. So this is just like a puzzle, no? You will connect in later stages. Yeah. So keep that in your mind and also get ready for that, no? To learn this in coming days. Right. So in waterfall, we'll always refer WBS. So WBS, see, for example, WBS, we have the control account, we have the planning package, and last we have the work, what is called work package. Work package. So work package, we'll discuss this in later stage. Work package is that, no, that is the lowest component in WBS. That means work package, no? So you have to assign the work package. So below work package, you can have many activities. So you always refer the work breakdown structure, right? To assign the responsibilities, because you have this, these are the activities. By looking at the activities, then you can assign that this activity belongs to this role, right? Then Agile, remember that Agile, there is no push, always a self-organized team. So what is the meaning of self-organized team? What do you understand? Self-organized. Self-organized.
The team itself decides what all tasks they're going to do as part of the project.
Yes. So we can have...
And the project manager is more or less a facilitator.
Yes.
Or a servant leader, as they call it.
So see now, we have some team, some people, you have to push them to work. So no. But some people, they will do by themselves without push or supervise. Push them to do push or supervise. Don't you like? You don't really get that benefit to the organization. What do you think? Push, supervise them to do. People do by themselves without push or supervise. What do you think? Which category of the people are good for the organization? People with push or supervise them to do work, or people do by themselves without any push or supervision?
Without push, sir.
Yeah. Otherwise, the people will look through that, no? Will look at the manager, whether the manager is in the cabin, they will do the work, right? The manager left the office, they'll also start, no? Preparing to leave the office, right? Right. So this is actually, this is do by themselves without a supervisor. That is the self-organized. So you will organize, the team will organize by themselves, right? What to do? Yes, we can. So there, no, because in Agile, nobody is coming to do this. No, the team has responsibility to do the work, right? So in Agile, we'll discuss what is the role in Agile, right? And not like a traditional project management. Traditional project management, right? It's a classical project management, always the project manager, right? And in Agile, we have the Scrum roles, Scrum manager. We'll discuss this in later. Yeah? Scrum manager. Have you heard about Scrum Master? Scrum Master. So this is project manager. This is project manager. And in Agile, we have team lead, project leader. We call it a project leader. Or we call this is the Scrum Master. Have you heard about this? Scrum Master?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You heard this, right? Okay, good.
Yes, we heard this.
No, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah? Interesting topic. Yeah, that is part of the Agile, right? Right. So team development. See now the gap analysis is coming here. Gap analysis. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Just for understanding, what would be the difference between Scrum Master and project leader?
What is the difference between Scrum Master and development team? Yeah. Right.
Oh, Scrum Master and project leader.
Scrum Master or project leader. See now that is both are same.
Both are same. Both are having same responsibilities.
Yeah. So for example, if you are using Agile, simple Agile, we'll use project leader. If you are using Scrum framework on top of Agile, then we call it a Scrum Master. If you are using a Scrum framework, I will discuss this later stage. Yeah? If you are using a Scrum framework on top of Agile, then we'll call it as a Scrum Master, because Scrum.
So what is a Scrum framework?
Defines only 3 roles. Scrum defines only 3 roles. One is Scrum Master. Product owner.
Yeah.
Product owner.
And development team.
And development team. Excellent. Yeah. Development. So Scrum defines only 3 teams. Yeah. See that actually the Scrum Master is the the role in Scrum, because nowadays Agile means actually they are using a Scrum framework. What is the meaning of framework? Framework, if you use a framework, that means it has a role, already predefined roles, predefined activities, predefined documents to be prepared. Correct? Everything is prepared. No, it is predefined, because you have everything is like a package, right? You are getting some, that is the framework, just to use the framework to get the result, right? So that's the reason, that is the difference of difference between Scrum Master and Project Leader. And Project Leader also same, because in Scrum, there is no commanding, right? And always, the Scrum Master is like a leader. He is leading the team. What is the meaning of leading the team? That means he is always providing the service to the team to do the work and also motivating them. Always, the leadership, right? So what is the difference between management and leader? Management is like, command and control. Do this, do this. That is the manager. What about the leader? Let us do this together. I'm ready to support you. Let us do this together. So that is the leadership, right? So for a project manager, we need to have both actually, the management skill and also the leadership skills, right? Because always we have to develop the leadership skill. That is nowadays, the organization is expecting to have this, the people to develop the leadership skills. What is the
Scrum framework? It works in a sprint mode, right?
Pardon?
In Scrum framework, it works in a sprint mode, right?
Can you loudly talk? I didn't hear you.
So I'm putting it in the chat.
Yeah, please. I didn't hear your last sentence. That is the problem. Yeah, yes. Right. I will wait for your message. Yes. It's a good, I think it's some good question. Let me check that.
Sir, what is a Scrum framework?
I will explain. We have a topic for that. Yeah. So wait for probably now on 3rd class we'll discuss. Yeah. On 3rd day we can discuss. Yeah? Because if I start discussing, it takes like 1 hour to finish. Yeah.
Okay. No issue.
One thing, right?
Basically, I'm from the manufacturing industry, and this type of the words
it works in sprint framework, right? Yes. See, this is a sprint. So sprint means sprint, or sprint is nothing but Scrum. Yeah, one Scrum. Sprint is like an iterations. This is called an iteration, right? Sprint or iteration. See, just for you to understand, and now I will tell you some points. So what is waterfall? This is analysis, design, build, test, deploy, deliver, close.
One roll back to the previous step.
Yeah, this is like, after analysis, you will not go back to analysis. Then after design, you will not go back to design. Then it will come. That is like a sequential, right? It's like a waterfall, right? So this is the waterfall. So how many deliverables here? It will take, for example, 1 year. There is 1 delivery, right? So that is the waterfall, traditional project management, right? So here in between, we don't have room left for the improvement, right? Because you are getting that feedback only after final, maybe after 1 year. So that is happening nowadays, right? After 1 year, or customer is thinking to change that or maybe modify that. So that is coming expensive. But here now in Agile, so what we will do is, we will do an iteratively incremental. So you have this, the product list of the items. in this, you are now taking some of the important, prioritized items only for a particular iteration, that is for 1 month. So once you complete this iteration, you are able to deliver a small product. That is the portion of the product. So that will create some value to the customer. Maybe they can put into the operations or business. The day when you deliver, that day onwards, they can put in that, that is environment, live environment or operation. So they can get some benefit, tangible or intangible, right? And this is the way they have many iterations. That is the difference between waterfall and agile. So in waterfall, how many deliverables? Only one. In agile, how many deliverables? Many deliverables, right? To complete the functionalities, because you are slowly increasing the functionality, right? And this product backlog will prioritize also. I will explain this in clear, right? In later stage. Wait for that. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I will explain this clearly, on probably on third day, after 2-3 classes with Cummings, yeah, Scrum frameworks.
Sir, I had one question. If you can.
We are going to discuss very in detail regarding the Scrum framework and the roles and events and artifacts. All this we'll discuss, right?
I have one question from a previous slide, basically. You can, if I can ask.
Yes.
So you're talking about resource planning, right?
Yeah.
So while doing the resource planning for the project manager,
can you talk a little bit louder?
Yeah. So so I was talking about the resource planning. In the resource planning phase, that's an activity for the project manager, right?
Yes.
So over there, like many times you need to do, you need to identify skills required for that particular project, for the particular sort of development. Now you need to do certain, effort estimation, isn't it? So when you do the effort estimation, like, is there some guideline, like,
which estimation you're talking about?
Effort estimation.
Effort estimation. Yes. See, without effort, how can you estimate? Effort is important. Effort.
Yeah. So is there certain guideline, like, because that needs to be mapped to a cost to the whole development, isn't it?
Yes. Guideline. There is guidelines. So here now, actually, when you estimate, so that is actually we are using for the effort, right? Effort means actually effort for this is normally we it will help you to estimate duration. Yes or no? It's very important, no? That is duration.
Yeah.
Estimate duration, right? How much time you need, right? That is important, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Duration, to estimate the duration, right? So that is which coming and in project management also. Because see, in project management we have scope. I will write here scope, schedule, cost, resources. After cost, I will put quality. It's good. Quality, then resources. You can also tell resources, communications, risk, procurement, stakeholder. How many is there? Can you count? It's all important project management. I'll put it here. What are they? Scope,
9.
Schedule, cost, quality, resources, communications, risk,
time missed,
procurement, and stakeholder. This is very important, right? This is what we are discussing. And so the effort, so you have to calculate the effort. So what you said, no, the effort. So in order to calculate the effort, so what is very important, no, you have to consider the effort, how much effort. So whenever we talk about estimation, no, that is the scale, this is the time duration. Always remember that you have to consider the effort. Not only that, that is the physical effort, right? Plus complexity. And risk. Correct? So this is very, very important, project manager, especially for agile estimations, right? And that is the reason in traditional project management, we will always estimate like duration in days, months, right? And here in agile, we'll always use story points. Yeah? So we'll discuss in later stage. Yeah? So effort is important, right? Effort means effort will always convert into the duration of the project. Yes or no? Because for example, you think that, okay, this person, for example, and one technical expert, he needs like 10 days to complete that. Correct? The effort, right? So effort is actually level of effort. Have you heard about level of effort? LOE, level of effort.
Yes.
Yes, we'll apply that also, right? Because he may use some project management roles. Right. So knowledge transfer between the teams. Is it important, knowledge transfer? Knowledge transfer, yes. So that's the reason.
Yes, yes.
The visibility of the work is important. That is the the latest concept, yeah. Team charter. So you have to keep a team charter. Team charter, we'll discuss what is the meaning of team charter, yeah. Wait for that. And also, as I said to you that that information radiator like Kanban board and burn down chart. Kanban board and burn down chart also we'll discuss in later stage, yeah. Right. So this is all about the knowledge transfer between the teams. So I will tell you that one thing regarding that Kanban board and burn down chart, just for understanding. So Kanban board is a board where you can have the columns and like you'll prepare, you can make columns. That's simple actually, that board, whiteboard you can use, that the office wall also you can use. For example, simple Kanban board where you can have, for example, to do. What to do?
In progress done.
Yes, to do. So you can have one column for the to do, and another column is doing, and another column is for done. So this is the way you will create this. So now you can have many items here. These are stories, yeah? Many items here, for example. And now you are going to do, for example, you will move this item here, this item here, correct? Now it is ready to start work, right? So now you will start. So this is now you are doing this here and this here. And after complete this, after complete means you have to satisfy some checklist that is called definition of done. I will explain. And then you can move this completing after testing and all this, you will try. See now, by looking at this, it is very clear that how you are the improvement, right? What you are doing, what is completed, what is pending. And if you have many items over here, what do you think? If you have many items over here in this Kanban board in the doing, so this is called work in progress, WIP. So what do you think? Many items here. So that means there is a problem, right? Because it is not moving from doing to done, right? And always it has to move from left to right, right? If you stuck something in doing, there is a problem. And Scrum Master, for example, or project leader, for example, need to, or project manager need to realize it, right? And take some actions. So that is the Kanban board here. We'll discuss this again, right? Right. So all okay now? Are you okay with all this what we discussed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, then we can stop here now. And thank you very much. And you are most welcome. If you have any questions, you can post. You can now ask me. Whatever now I can explain to you, I will most welcome. Happy to explain to you. Okay,
And,
then. Right,
we can, just one question. Can we have this PPT sent to us in the WhatsApp or something?
Yeah, I will make it available tomorrow. Yeah, it will be available in the shared folder. Yeah.
Okay. Also the recordings.
Shared by that admin, right? From the IMC.
Also the class recordings.
Right.
So one quick question, sir.
Yeah.
So what's the major difference between PMBOK 6 and 7? So any major changes?
Yes. And major changes. So just wait. I will open on document and I. Yeah, so that will be great for you to understand.
Sir, can you share the guides also? All the three.
of the 3 books you mean. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, right. It will be available in a shared folder. Don't worry about this. Probably by tomorrow it will be updated.
Okay, thank you.
Reflect in the shared folder all this document.
Thank you so much.
Before you come tomorrow's class. Tomorrow you have class, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So regarding that PIM book 6th and 7th, and see now that PIM book 6th is like the process, so many process, right? Process chart, right? Process chart. You can see like the project management is managed like knowledge areas, process groups, and all this, right? So that is we removed that pattern in PIM book 7th editions. PIM book 6th edition is very detailed one, and PIM book 7th edition is very we compressed actually, but we focused on the people. We had many statistical techniques, philosophical approach for the project management, because we learned that project is done by people for the people, not the process. Even though there are process, because process also done by the people. Yes or no?
Yes.
It is done by the people, right? So that's the reason. But maybe you are learning that Six Sigma. Six Sigma is you will go to the process. Yes or no? You will go to the process to see the process. Correct. To see the process. And what do you call that when you go to the process to see that real process? What's happening? You cannot do anything. You cannot take any decision while sitting in the office, right? Gamba work, right?
Gamba work.
The Gamba work, right? Gamba work. So you have to go to the process and see the process, right? And then only you can take some plan for that, right? But here the process is also done by the people, right? The project management is like that. So that is the major difference between PIM book 6th edition and 7th edition, right? 6th edition and 7th edition. And 7th edition, if you start reading 7th edition, you will not understand clearly because you don't have that understanding from the PIM book 6th edition. So it is always learned this, that is PIM book 6th edition concept. So there is, I am trying my effort to convince, even though I am talking about this in 7th edition or 6th editions based on, but I am always refer to the 6th edition also for you to understand the concept, to have some solid knowledge in project management, also the process. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay then. Okay.
Okay, sir, last question. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So the exam, the IMC will take the exam, or we need to go for further authority to give the exam?
No. Yeah, PM. PM. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
PMC, not IMC, right?
PMI, Project Management Institute. But you can get a certificate from IMC also. You'll get this.
No, but IMC will not take the exam for the PMP, right?
PMP exam is conducted by Project Management Institute, PMI.
So not IMC.
No.
Because last I did the Lean Six Sigma black belt and green belt the exam. IMC took the exam, no? So they have affiliated with the.
Yes, they have that. IMC is affiliated for that exam.
PMP can be taken only by the PMI. No other
Yes. That is PMI is conducting.
So IMC will not take the exam.
No.
Okay, sir.
No organization can conduct.
Right. That is authorized to PMI, project management, not like other exams.
So we will give the exam online there?
Yes, there is an online exam, and also you can go to that exam center, Pearson, then you can take the exam.
No, like I am in Philippines, so I can give only online exam, right?
Yeah, Philippines, there are centers available in Philippines.
I will check.
Otherwise, online, you can choose now online, same as, but you have to follow that, you have to go through all the security measures. That's
okay, sir.
Sir, one question.
Yeah.
Sir, in beginning, you told that 35 PDUs.
Yes, sir. I
want to know what is this 35 PDUs?
See now, your course is for 35 hours, right? 35 hours. That means is equivalent for 35 PDUs. That is the reason our course is structured for giving the standard course. We cannot give whatever we like. No, this is all whatever we are explaining based on the standards, right? And also the pattern, that hours is 35 hours, right? And if you multiply 12 days into 3 hours per day, right? 3 hours. Yeah. 3 hours per day. So that means 36. Last day we have, for example, 2 hours. So we're getting 35 hours, right? We need to complete this. So that means it is equal to 35 PDUs.
Now, why it is called PDUs?
Professional development units. Professional development unit.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
See, when we complete on course, that organization, that is the training provider, will provide give some PDUs. That PDUs we can use for our the certification benefit, right? For updating the certificate, for examples, and for many purpose we can use that PDUs. PDUs means actually we are doing something. That means we are updating our knowledge. So that organization who is providing the training will provide this professional development units, which we can use for many purpose.
Okay, thank you very much.
Right.
So there, the exam is like some mathematically questions, or just simple question related to planning and
You
this
can
kind of
expect,
things.
like as I said to you, that all situations. So because saying that, for example, project manager, and he's on status. So as a project manager, what is that action you take? Then you have that many options, like 4 options, multiple choice questions. Yeah?
And is it an open book exam or?
No, closed. I know.
Okay.
But complete the training. It's
Okay,
good, no?
sir.
That
Thank
is,
you.
we'll be giving that certification also from IMC side. So you can have that value in that. So don't worry.
Okay, thank
So
you.
completing
Thank you
the
very much.
training, get maximum knowledge, and make use of this in the project. Small, you can use this knowledge in your project management also. It's good.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Thank you so
sir.
much.
Right. Okay, then. Good night and take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.